Hello, this is Sudhakar Singh, and this is a marketing plan for a GlobalProCenter. So there are many aspects to digital marketing, and the very first step is to create a sales funnel. And so, what exactly is a sales funnel? A sales funnel, in the simplest form, is really a way that you are able to drive traffic to our website, and a specific kind of a process where you're able to take the clients from the first step, not really knowing what we do, what they know about our product or our service or our brand, and moving them to all of these stages, to be familiar with our products and services, and to be actually become a paying customer. So it's not going to be highly likely that every customer that comes to our website is going to buy our courses. So it's more. They may not reach at the last stage, which is a feedback. So it's really important to understand all of these process and system for us to move these customers from point A to become a paying customer. So it's really important to understand, to learn about all of these process, and create a system for us to move people from point A to point B and make them actually our paying customer. The whole intention to create a sales funnel is to have our website and have our company name to represent it in a way that every clients to have a really broad opening at a very first stage, so we can capture as much as clients that we can. And we want our customers to come, we want our marketing material came across as to clients as they would come to our, essentially raise their hands and say, hey, yes, I've seen your marketing material, and I'm interested in what you have to offer. So at that given stage, at the very top, at the very first step, they have come into contact with some sort of marketing material as they move down many different stages. So we are building a trust and building a credibility, and we are building a authority.
All right, so let's talk about how to create the perfect lead magnet. So your lead magnet is essentially what you're giving away for free when somebody's opting into your sales funnel. It's a valuable piece of content, information, something that lets your prospect essentially download, get through their email, and then in exchange for their particular email address, so you can continue to market to them and they can get down into your sales funnel. So the lead magnet must solve a specific problem for that particular prospect. A good example of this is a particular lead magnet that talks about learn how to accomplish, achieve, or do X, right? So let me give you kind of an example here of the different things that we can use for a lead magnet and how a lead magnet typically looks. So when we go over here, we see that a lead magnet can be a cheat sheet, can be a checklist, swipe file, a recording of a talk that you gave, some sort of training out there, right? Resources that you may have, maybe a buyer's guide, some kind of email course, whatever that may be, right? Something of high value that your prospect wants, they want to learn how to, right? And that you can really position as it being highly, extremely valuable, right? So that all you have to do is position it in a way for them to just simply submit their information, their email, right? Contact information, and then they're going to get this right away. So here's a great example of a lead magnet. This is for content marketing, for traffic and sales. A very nice picture of the ebook here, right? And the ebook may just be, 20 pages, right? But it's an ebook that looks to be providing a ton of value here, and it has a learn to create, optimize, and market engaging content in order to build, scale, and grow your business, right? It has that type of headline that really tells the individual what exactly they're going to learn and what they're going to get from this particular lead magnet, right? Ebook. And all they have to do, nice and simple. I love this particular pop-up here because it has a section here for them to put in their email address. They don't even need their name, right? So it's reducing the friction, right? The resistance that that prospect has to go through to submit their information. It's nice, simple, and easy for them. Plus, they have a really nice button here. Send me the training, which is blue. It pops out and it has the call to action there. Send me the training. Oftentimes, you can have that particular button there, and if you don't have the right wording, that can actually decrease your number of conversions, right? Because this is essentially, what you want people to be doing. You want them to be following your guidelines, following a process, a system that you have laid out for them so that they can get to the next step of the sales funnel. And this send me the training is just like saying, hey, send me that right away so that I can get that valuable piece of content for free. So highly recommend that when you're putting together a lead magnet, look through all these different types of content pieces you may have. Maybe you can put some together and kind of repackage it as a lead magnet and teach people. Let's say, for example, with a marketing agency where, let's say you're a consultant or you're some sort of coach that coaches marketing agencies, you can have a lead magnet that says learn how to get 3 to 5 appointments a week with this simple system or sales process or templates or whatever that may be, right? But it's about teaching somebody, right, your prospect, a valuable lesson, a valuable piece of information for free, and then you getting their information. So that's it for this video here. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks. In this video, we're going to talk about the sales process. So how exactly is it that we're going to take leads, strangers, right, that have never ever had any contact with us, never have had any interaction with us, to where they're actually a paying customer, and then we can actually use them to get us referrals. So let's go right ahead and walk through the different sales stages here that we're going to use for this particular course. So this is the sales process here. As you can see at the very top of the funnel up here, we have leads. In this course, we're going to go over different methods that we can use to build up our customer list. We're going to go over different websites, different platforms that we can use to build up our specific target market list. So once we have the leads, then we're going to put them into our cold email outreach. And we're also going to be using the 2 other methods in here in this course, which is the direct mail and cold calling. But the cold email is going to be the one with the least amount of resistance because we can put together a list of several hundred of target companies and be able to email them fairly quickly. So we have the leads up here at the top, and then we have our outreach method. And so once they respond and we've gotten them interested in actually having a call, we're then going to schedule that discovery call and go over their problems, their pain points, their challenges, and see if there may be an opportunity for us to partner together. And then from that discovery call, you're going to then walk them through a presentation on the second call, and then you're going to have the close there, and then we're going to have a follow-up if that doesn't close on that second call there. Now, one of the most important things here that I've been able to use that really helps out with the discovery call and then the presentation is after the discovery call has been done, we've built our credibility up, we've positioned ourselves as that credible, authoritative expert. Right after that, when we schedule our second call, what I typically do is I send over a virtual sales letter, so a VSL. And what that has in there is it's showing them essentially a case study, how we've been able to help XYZ company accomplish XYZ goal, and how we can, help you accomplish the same, right? Get the same kind of results. So by the time that the presentation call comes on, we've already positioned ourselves as that authoritative, credible expert. They've already seen that VSL that shows them the results that we've been able to achieve. And so they're really buttered up, they're really primed up for that presentation call because of what we did prior. And so on the presentation call, it's up to you to really showcase your product, your service, so that it really touches on the pain points, challenges that they may have, and then be able to close that deal. So that's essentially going to be here, the sales process for this particular course, and what I like to use really in any kind of sales methodology, because if you're trying to close somebody with one call, it's going to be very difficult. When you're doing paid ads, now this is another thing here. When you're doing paid advertising such as Facebook ads, such as Google, that's where you can have a one call close, okay? And I've done a lot of one call closes, but they are more difficult. And so what ends up happening is when somebody goes through a Facebook funnel, right, or like a Google Ads paid funnel, where they see a VSL, they have the ability to fill out an application to see if they qualify, right? Then there's that pre-framing and that positioning that's set up there where you're making them apply to see if they qualify. And they're filling out all their information, their budget, all these, different things that it's really going to help us use it to our advantage on that call. So that's the only time that I really recommend that you do a one call close, where you have paid advertising, you have a funnel, right? You have an ad, and then they're actually filling out a application, okay? And then they're actually booking that call. And then on that call, that's where you actually do the presentation and you close, right? But if you're doing any kind of cold outreach, I highly recommend that you always utilize a 2-call system where you have a discovery call to learn more about the business, the pain points, the challenges, and then a presentation to show them how the product or service, right, works for them and how they can reap the benefits from your product or service. So that's going to be it here for this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to create a calendar invite so you can send it to your prospect. So whenever they have responded back and you guys have agreed on a time, on a date, you want to make sure that you are cognizant and aware that they may be on the East Coast, you may be on the West Coast, vice versa. So keeping track of the times, right? Making sure you're not sending the wrong time. So let me just kind of walk you through how I go about creating calendar invites. So let's say on Monday here, the 5th at 10 a.m., I'll go to more options. I like to have this screen here. And let's say it is with Mike. So put Juan and, or I'll put either Mike or Juan, Mike and Juan meeting. And then I'll put like the company, says me, digital marketing. Okay. And then I typically like to do the discovery calls for about 30 minutes, no repeating. And this is the most important thing here, okay? So you want to have 3 notifications here. You want to have one here 10 minutes before the meeting, and then 1 hour before the meeting, and then 1 day, okay? And typically you want to have these meetings here booked out 24 to 48 hours at least in advance, okay? Because it's going to give you a little bit of time to research the company a little bit further, right? So that when you're coming into the discovery call, yeah, you're finding out more about the pains, the challenges, right? You have a good framework to work off of because you've already done a little bit of research on the prospect, right? And so in here in the description, it depends on the prospect, but sometimes I won't even put anything. Sometimes I may put, discovery call or quick meeting to learn more about XYZ, right? And then nice and simple, I'll just copy, place the email address here, and then I will save it, and then it'll say invite external guest, yes, and then you'll go ahead and do that. So it's that simple. You want to make sure you have at least 3 notifications here. That's the biggest thing here, okay? And oftentimes it'll ask you to add a conference. No conferencing, you don't want that. That's unless you're doing like a conference call. But I would typically just have them provide me with their phone number, or typically when they respond, they have their number there on their signature, and I'll just quickly verify, hey, is this going to be the best number to reach you, right? Whatever that may be. But the biggest thing here that I want you to come away with is that you want to have at least 3 notifications. You want them to continually be reminded that you guys have a call coming up. This is really how simple it is to create a calendar invite. Again, you want to make sure the time zone is correct for your time zone and then their time zone as well. So that's really going to be it here. You go to save, then it'll say, hey, invite external guest. Great. And then you'll have a chance to be able to accept it, and so will they. So that's going to be it here for this video, and we'll see you on the next one.
In this section, I want to talk more about general video marketing and how you make great videos, specifically for marketers. First, I want you to understand why videos are so important. I know they're a little bit more work, well, maybe a lot more work than some of the other forms of content and other advertising types of marketing, but it will be worth it. So let's just go through a few reasons why you should consider doing videos. One is that video is the most engaging form of communication right now. There may be some form of communication that I don't know about, but it just truly is more engaging. You can see that by the way it's shared on social media more than other forms of communication. Even just images aren't as engaging. Studies have shown that videos can increase landing page conversions by 80%. Plus, 64% of customers are more likely to purchase when there is a sales video. And this is because videos allow you to truly explain and show what your product and service is. Also, videos are just more memorable. It's hard for me to remember any blog articles that I've read recently or long ago that blew my mind, but there are lots of videos that I can remember. You and your brand will be more stuck in that person's mind with a video compared to just an article or an ad or any other kind of marketing. Video marketing and videos in general help a website's SEO. If you have that kind of content and you're putting it on your website and people are spending more time on the pages of your website, that's going to increase your website's SEO. Meaning if people are spending a lot of time on your website, Google is going to see that and send more traffic to your website. And plus, videos have that viral potential. Hey, Phil here. Welcome to a new section. This one is all about Facebook groups. This is just one of the Facebook sections of this course. We've got other ones on advertising with Facebook and on Facebook pages. But groups are one of my favorite things to use on Facebook because it's really a great way to build your own community. Compared to other aspects of Facebook, it's easier to engage with your audience. Pages are great for just having for your brand, but not everyone who likes your page is going to see all of your posts. And it's also not an easy way for people who like your brand to engage with you. But with a group, people are, at least currently the way that it's set up, you and members of the group are all commenting on the same wall, basically, is what we'll call it. And everyone who joins the group will see all the posts of that group unless they change the notification settings, which might happen, but still, there's more engagement and there's more chance for people to be able to see your posts in groups. At least right now, Facebook isn't making us pay for everyone in the group to see the post.
All right, so this is the 3-step sales funnel where we're going to be, number one, asking for a connection, looking to connect with our target market. This is not through like some in-mail or any kind of paid advertisement, nothing like that. It's a simple connection message, okay? And then we're going to provide value, and then we're going to ask for a phone call. Now, the connection message is, a nice and simple, hey, just saw that you were in XYZ industry or something along those lines. And I'm going to walk you through some message templates here where you can change them around to fit your own, particular business. But the connection message is nice and simple. Hey, we're just looking to connect with like-minded individuals or people in the same industry. The second one here, the second step here is we're providing value, something of value to that individual that may help them with their, marketing, with getting more customers, clients, whatever that may be, whatever problem that we're looking to solve. And then step 3, we're asking them for a phone call, but in all of the different ways that we're communicating here, it's very nonchalant. It's non-salesy. It's just like, hey, how's it going? What's going on, right? It's not anything where like, hey, this is what I do. This is how I can help you. This is my sales process. This is my sales products and services. Are you interested in buying, right? None of that stuff. It's just like we're having a normal conversation with an actual person, which this is exactly what we're doing, right? Instead of, trying to come across like we're trying to sell stuff. All right, so let's talk about the LinkedIn semi-direct sales funnel. Now, this is going to be a bit different of a sales funnel here, and the fact that we are obviously going to be a little bit more direct, but it's still not coming across like we're just trying to sell people, like we're just trying to position our product or service. We're going to come across to these individuals just like we're having a conversation, right? And that we're looking to engage in conversation and see if there may be an opportunity for us to partner together. So it's a 3-step funnel, but there's just a couple different things that we need to do here. So the process is, the first one here is the connection, okay? And this is where we're just inviting them to connect, seeing if they'd be open to connecting, accepting us into their network. Number 2 is a simple question. This is where we're asking them a little bit about their business and seeing kind of where they currently are with their business, or what they're currently doing for X or for Y. And I'm going to walk you through the different questions here in the sample scripts that I'm going to provide you. So, and then number 3 is a value, because our entire system is centered around our profile doing the selling for us, right? That is the whole premise of this entire sales funnel, of this entire LinkedIn lead generation system, is we are not doing any selling through our communication with these individuals. We're letting the profile do that for us, right? We're just having nonchalant conversations, but this one's actually going to be a little bit more direct, and I'm going to walk you through the steps here in this video. So step 1, this is the nice and simple connection message. So, hi name, I came across your profile and noticed you were in X industry, and I wanted to see if you'd be open to connecting. This can be changed around to your specific industry, but something along these lines where your intention is just to get a connection. There's no selling, there's no, hey, I help people do this is my product, this is my service. And I get all kinds of messages from people all the time with the very first message that they send me. It has to do with, hey, this is what we do. Hey, if you want to learn more about our services, reach back out to me. And I never accept their connection messages because they're trying to sell me instead of trying to learn more about me, understand, my pain points, my problems, things that I may be going through that they could help me with. But they ruin their chances of even talking with me, right? Having a conversation with me, because they're trying to just, go to bed on the first night, so to speak, right? So this message here is just a nice and simple connection message. We want to get connected, because then once we're connected, we can then send follow-up messages that they will be able to receive, right? This is not no LinkedIn LinMail or anything like that, or InMail type of messaging, which I believe come across a bit spammy, because every time that I've received those, they've all been just spam messages, okay? But this is a nice and simple way to just, get accepted as a connection and then build that relationship from there. So step 2, this is where we're asking a question. So we want to be able to ask them a question to learn more about their current situation, right? And as you notice here through this message, the first 2 things that we're mentioning here is just like, hey, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So let me show you. So, hi name, thanks for accepting me into your network, right? So you're thanking them, you're showing them that you appreciate it. I'm looking forward to exploring how we can mutually benefit from being connected. It's just a matter of saying, hey, thanks. Looking forward to seeing how we can mutually benefit from being connected. And then down here, this is the semi-direct portion of this sales funnel here. All we're really doing is we're asking them a simple question. By the way, I work a lot with your typical customer, and whoever it is that you're connecting with and you're sending these messages to, they're obviously going to be your target market, or else you're not going to be just sending messages to random people, right? So you're saying that you work a lot with XYZ type of businesses or XYZ type of individuals, helping them achieve or accomplish X, Y, and Z. And I'm curious as to what you or you guys are doing for X at the moment. So you're just opening up dialogue. And, because I work with clients a lot in this space where, they actually utilize some of these strategies, but they actually pay us to run these campaigns for them. We've had a lot of opportunities with different types of companies that provide like outsourcing services. And, there have been a lot of opportunities that these clients of ours have gotten because they happen to be hitting people just at that right time. Some messages they've gotten back were like, hey, thanks for reaching out. We're actually doing this and that, but we just had somebody actually put in their 2 weeks and we're looking for a replacement. Hey, do you have some time next week to hop on a quick call? So with this type of messaging, you want to be sending out as many as you can. And that's where I recommend the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. You should have that anyways if you're doing prospecting on LinkedIn. But with the LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you want to be trying to send out as many connection requests as possible and as many messages as you can to these individuals, because with this 3-step sales funnel here, you're going to find people that are just ready to go, happen to be, ready to go prime in the market and are actively looking for a solution, right? So this is step 2 here. You're asking a question. You're trying to find out a little bit more about their current situation to see if there may be an opportunity for you to partner. Step 3. Now, this is where we're adding value. Let's say for whatever reason, the second question there that we sent there, the second step, they maybe were like, I'm busy, or I'm not interested, or whatever that may be, right? Maybe they just happened to not engage, or maybe they read the message, right? But they did not respond. This is where we continue to stay on their radar. So we're going to provide value, and it's the same kind of messaging that we're going to be using as the indirect method. We want to be able to reach out to all the connections that are, obviously your target market, to share this piece of content, article, maybe you have something on your website, and you're providing value and letting them know that so they can be proactive in getting or not losing, or whatever that may be, right? It's a simple value piece of content. And so what ends up happening is that a lot of people will sometimes read your messages and they may be interested, but they may get distracted. They may, want to know more, but they just, for whatever reason, did not get to it. And this is where we stay top of mind here with this value piece. And again, there's no selling here, not even through step 2, step 3. We're asking questions, we're providing value, and our profile is doing the selling for us. So this is it for this one here. This is the LinkedIn semi-direct funnel. We'll go ahead and see you guys on the next one. Thanks. All right, so now we're here on the LinkedIn Sales Navigator tool, which is the tool that I recommend if you're going to be doing a lot of in-depth and heavy prospecting, and you want to be able to connect with your target market and not get limited with the number of connections that you're able to send out and the messages that you can send out, and then also the profiles that you can look at. Because if you do not have the Sales Navigator, some profiles are going to be hidden. It's just going to say LinkedIn member. And so that's going to allow you to be able to see all those different profiles and send a lot more connections. So let's go ahead and take a look at this here. Now, the actual tool is going to be free for 30 days. They have a free 30-day trial. So if you want to test this out, highly recommend you start your free trial. I can almost guarantee that once you try this out and you're looking to generate more leads and sales for your business, and you see how powerful this is, you're going to want to continue with it on a month-by-month basis. Now, I think it's like $88 a month. It's very inexpensive in regards to the power and potential of it for as many connections that you can send and as many opportunities that you'll have in your pipeline. So highly recommend you get a free trial there. So let's go down here. So now, one of the great things that I love about the LinkedIn Sales Navigator is the advanced lead and company search, where you can break down your search criteria with keywords, geography, postal code, industry, first name, last name, relationships, titles, company. You can even break this down by revenue. So it really allows you to get very detailed and specific on your search criteria. Now, in the next video, you're going to be able to look at the entire LinkedIn Sales Navigator tool. It's going to be a complete tutorial and walkthrough so that you can use it to its full potential there. So they also have the lead recommendations. So what this does is it allows you to get recommended to you as far as different lead opportunities that may be within certain companies, certain target accounts, and LinkedIn will recommend those to you with the service. So then another thing that I like that the Sales Navigator has is the CRM integration. So you can integrate, let's say, Salesforce or Zoho or whatever kind of CRM that you have, or you can even use the Sales Navigator as a CRM tool in and of itself. They have a way to save leads, save contacts, and look at all your different communication that you had with the leads. And then you can look at deals here. You can set up actual deals that you've been able to go through your pipeline that you've won. Real-time sales updates, notes, and tags, so you can tag different leads. And once again, you're going to have a full walkthrough and tutorial in the next video. And then you can also, obviously, who's viewed your profile. Now, the in-mail messages, this is something where I don't necessarily like and I haven't really used, because I look at these as kind of being spammy, because whenever I receive one of these, I know that somebody is trying to pitch me, sell me on their product or service. And then you have presentations, team link. So highly recommend the LinkedIn Sales Navigator tool for prospecting. Once again, you're going to have a complete tutorial in the next video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. All right, so let's go ahead and go over the LinkedIn Sales Navigator tool. Now, this is a paid tool. I believe it's about $90 a month. Well worth it. If you're going to be doing LinkedIn outreach, any kind of LinkedIn marketing, and really I recommend, because the very first month they're going to give you a 30-day trial. We're going to give it to you for free. And so even just those 30 days, it's it's totally worth it, right? Even beyond those 30 days. But jump on the free trial for 30 days. You'll just notice a massive opportunity here. And even continuing on, if you really want to get serious with LinkedIn and start getting a large pipeline of opportunities and leads, I highly recommend you use the LinkedIn Sales Navigator tool here as a method for you to generate leads and really pinpoint target audiences here on LinkedIn. So let me show you here. So one of the things that you can do is go to search for leads. Okay, this is one of my sales guys' profiles here. So we're going to go through their profile and I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is the actual filter that comes up here. And what ends up happening is, okay, so we have all these different filters in here. Okay, so let's say we wanted to go after dentists, okay, and we wanted to, go after, let's say Texas, okay, all in the state of Texas. Down here, you can see we can even go citywide. Let's even go to Houston, Texas, okay. So 501 results, okay. No relationship, no industry, because obviously the dentist is the keyword. Okay. First name, nope. Title, function, here's a company head count. Okay, we can go 11 to 50 as well. Okay. And if you want to go to title, we can go to like founder, co-founder, and go owner, business owner. And we'll notice here the differences, because we just, as you see, it went down quite a bit, right? And maybe these are lowering it down for a reason there. So let's see what this pulls up here. So we want to look for dentists in the Houston area. Okay, so looks like these are all dentists here. Okay. Huh. Okay. Now let's look at without having these titles in here. Let's remove those and see if this makes a difference here. And if it's because we want to make sure that it's very accurate, right? As accurate as possible. Okay. So yeah, actually this one here we can just put in, and it's really going to vary for niches. Like this dentist here, we can just put in dentist, right? And it's going to pull up all these little dentists here in the actual Houston area. So clinical lead. So look at this one here. So this person here isn't even an actual dentist, they're a lead. Okay, here's a general dentist, here's a dental assistant, right? And so that's why we want to go after the owners only, right? So down here as well, benefit coordinator, right? That's not going to be somebody we want to talk to, right? Susanna, uh, yeah. So I would really put, like general dentist. This is great, right? That's great. So because what ends up happening is, and you're going to want to use this. So this guy's a marketing consultant, right? You're going to want to use Linked Helper here, and I'm going to walk through Linked Helper there very briefly in another video. Awesome tool to automate connections and the first thank you message. So let's say we want to go after the entire state. So we go to view all filters, right? Because 50, well, here we have 141 because we removed. So let's go after. So I'm just playing here so you can get an example, right? Just so you can get an example here of how this works. And so let's go down here. Let's go to owner. Okay, and then we want to go to co-owner, co-founder. Okay, boom. So 225. Okay, so here you see we have, I don't know what this is. So we would have to, now we don't need to create a filter for this. So I just wanted to create this quick video and just go over here, right? This is the exact kind of formula and process that you're going to use to go after and really find your target market, okay? So let's say you wanted to go after a different market, right? You simply are going to put in your keywords in here, right? And then you're going to put in the geographical location, and you're going to put in the company headcount you want to go after and the titles. And that's going to give you the best search filters there for what you're going for. Now, you can put in here a lot of different, they call them Boolean searches, Boolean, I think. You can Google that with LinkedIn. Those are additional search filters that you can add on here, but they are a bit complicated. You have to actually check out LinkedIn on their, just Google Boolean search, and they're going to give you some insight. So Boolean search is like this. So if we wanted to go type in not, and then put in like dental assistant, okay? So this would tell LinkedIn that we want dentist, but we don't want dental assistant, okay? That's just an example there. Okay, so let's say we wanted to go after chiropractors, right? Or gym. Actually, let's even go gyms, okay? All right, so here we have owner. What do we have? Owner. Let's go to co-founder. We can even have like president. Okay. And so we want to go to, where's the company size at? Okay, right here, 1 through 10, 11 through 50 is fine. Gyms in Texas, we'll check this out. Okay. So it looks like these guys are a marketing company. Wow. Wonder why these guys, huh? So let's type that in here like that. Okay, there you go. There you go. So here's some gyms here. You see a bunch of owners. So we have 672 owners, right? These are all guys that we can reach out to, right? And I believe, let me even pull this up here. I believe you have access to their email as well with the LinkedIn Sales Navigator, but you have to be connected to them. If I'm correct there, if I remember correctly. Okay, so yeah, that is indeed okay. So basically, this guy's the owner, Evan Duncan, of a gym, and here his website. You can check that out. So yeah, basically, this is going to be the process. I recommend you take the 30-day free trial for the LinkedIn Sales Navigator tool, and once you select an audience, you can go after state, city, regions, and click on linked helper down here. I'm going to walk through that on another video, and you'll be able to really get an idea of just how powerful LinkedIn is, because once you understand, right, the messaging, the sales funnel that we've provided for you here, and then how to select the right audience, the right target market on LinkedIn, and then automate that outreach process with the linked helper, you're going to find just maximum results, because that's the hard part, right? Is being able to find the right type of individuals to reach out to, but then also once you find them, what do you say, right? What's the messaging? And then how do we reach out to them in an automated way, right? And so we got this whole system here set up for you. Definitely recommend you give this a try. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll go ahead and see you on the next one. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. Okay. And in this video, we're going to go over the cold email system. I'm going to walk you through the 3 different ways that you can use to build up your audiences, to build up your actual customer list, and different ways that you can go about putting together your actual lead prospecting database. So let's go right ahead and jump into this here. Now, there's going to be 3 different ways that you can go ahead and build your customer list. The first way is going to be through manual search. This is going to be through going on Google, going through various websites, and we're going to walk through very much so in detail different websites, different platforms that we can go and actually build our customized list doing it manually. And then we're going to walk through number 2, which is buying email lists. Now, there's very specific steps that you need to follow when you're buying an email list so that you know it's up to date and you're not getting a bunch of filler data. A lot of times, people will buy lists that they buy from different places. They'll recycle them. They'll put in a bunch of names and emails that don't really fit what you're looking for. I'm going to show you how you can find very customized lists that are very inexpensive, right? Where you can get information from companies as far as the company size, information, revenue, employees, right? And all the different types of information that you're going to need to make sure that the list is high quality. And another thing that you can do is actually hire contractors. And I'm going to show you how to do that on Upwork, where I'm going to show you an example of some jobs that I've posted and the kind of contractors that I've hired, and give you some recommendations as to what to look for, how to actually create the job, and the things that are really important to make sure that you're getting the right kind of data. Because once you hire contractors on Upwork, for example, you can get very specific with the data. You can get the company size, the revenue, and get it real time. Because oftentimes what they'll do is they'll go to websites such as like Info USA, and they'll pull data right from the actual database and then be able to put that in a spreadsheet and get that over to you. And it's typically 5 to 10 cents per lead. And then one of the most important things that we're going to walk through is after you've collected your email database from either buying a list from a specific vendor, that I'm going to show you different ones that you can use, that I've used, that have worked tremendously well for me, and then also hiring contractors. Once you get those email lists, you want to be able to run those through an email cleaner. You have to make sure that the emails are actually safe, they're cleaned, and they're ready to get sent, because oftentimes you'll have emails that are old, that are spam traps, that are not updated, because we want to reduce the number of bounces that we're getting, because we want to make sure that the emails that we're sending are to the right email addresses, and we're protecting the credibility of our domain and our email address. So now let's go over the cold email process that we're going to utilize for our particular strategy here. The process essentially starts with sending an email and then getting a response, and then depending on that response there, taking appropriate action. So if a response comes back and they want to learn more, they want to find out if it makes sense for us to do business together, right? You want to schedule a discovery call. You want to address their concerns, and I'm going to show you different ways to respond, address any concerns, right? So we can get them to that scheduled call. Now, if there's no response, then typically what we'll do is we'll have an automated email setup process here that sends follow-ups on automation, so that whenever they are able to receive a first email, they perhaps read it, they forget, or they get distracted. We have a follow-up email that gets sent 3 days, 4 days after that to let them know, hey, just wanted to see if you had received a previous message and you had read the message, whatever that may be. Typically, I like to do anywhere between 3 to 7 times as far as follow-ups, right? Because you don't really know if that prospect read the email and they got distracted and they were interested. So it's really important to send follow-up emails, right? And sometimes you can send them until they tell you to stop. I mean, I've had a lot of clients that have emailed me back on email 5 and have said, hey, I really appreciate you reaching, out to me. I really like your persistence. I took a look at your email. I'm interested. However, I just haven't had the time to respond. Hey, what's your availability for a call? So never underestimate the power of automation and how you can actually set up an email campaign to follow up every 3 to 4 days. And I'm going to walk you through a system. We use Mailshake to be able to send automated emails between certain times, and then whenever they respond, they will automatically get removed from that actual series and campaign. Now, the ultimate goal is to get us on a discovery call. We walk through the sales process in one of the other videos, but our ultimate goal is to send an email, get a response so that they will get scheduled on a discovery call. And I'm going to walk you through all the different steps that we go through once they respond. But typically, we want to have that discovery call so that we can find out a little bit more about that particular business. They can learn more about your product and service, and if it makes sense, right, for you guys to go on to the next step in the process, which is that presentation. So this is essentially our cold email process here. I'm really excited to walk through all the different steps and walk into detail how to write emails that convert, and how to get your prospects' attention and get them to actually want to book a call with you. So that's going to be here for this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.
Copywriting is so important for digital marketing because it comes across in everything. Across your website, it's on your video descriptions, it's on your advertisements, your social media posts, your blog posts, it's everywhere. So knowing how to write copy is so important. And we're going to be going over our best practices through the rest of this section. We need to understand that there's a difference between copywriting and blogging. Some people tend to get these two mixed up. Copywriting is anything that you write that has a purpose of selling. So this could be in a blog article, but typically blog articles are meant to educate or to inspire or to entertain, but not necessarily just to sell. But blogging is important. Why should you blog? Blogging allows you to write long form content, in-depth content that really attracts people to your brand. If people become aware of your blog articles and they like what you're writing, you can turn someone into a raving fan with a simple blog post. You can really start to build a relationship with a person through your blog articles. Also, with your blog articles, you can rank in search engines for keywords, and not necessarily big general keywords, but specific keywords. For example, with Video School Online, we rank for some very specific keywords like green screen editing for Premiere Pro, or the difference between Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects, or how to get a cinematic film look with Premiere Pro. These are really sort of narrow, niched keywords, but if someone is looking for that, they might be interested in our other content, and not just our free content, but our paid content. So it's good to rank for those keywords to get people onto our website in the first place. Cool. So you got it. Blogging versus copywriting. This section is about copywriting, and that's what we're going to be talking about more coming right up in the next lesson. Quora.com is a question and answer website. That's all it is. People ask questions and you can answer them. It's a great way to establish authority in whatever your niche is. You can send people back to your website, especially if you have high quality content. We're talking about content marketing throughout this class. And if you write great blog articles, if you put out good videos, have great resources, you can link to those if you are answering a question that's related to those. And ultimately, it just makes you a better, more aware marketer yourself, because you can follow topics related to your industry, keep up to date, and at the same time help other people.